go. There we go. Already jacked up my first intro. That's pretty
good.
bad, man. And Marcus did a good job, man. He sold the whole art, math, and science of brewing. And
Completely forgot what I said, so now that's out the window.
well, we're here at Simple Machine. We're all enjoying pumpkin beers.
Yes.
Not afraid to say it, right?
Yes.
How are you?
No. I am a people that ever look under Brewery 602 or any of that stuff know that I am a Märzen pumpkin beer Oktoberfest nerd.
Yeah.
It is my time of year to drink beer.
It is. Shaun and I then get to enjoy the fruits of your labor and the fruits of the brew team here at Simple Machine. Pretty badass. We're making a beer for Salt River Fields Festival. And Shaun is here. Once again, if you're a listener of the show previous years, he's been on different Shauns, right? There's Shaun of Brew Day and Podcast Day, and then there's Shaun Day of the
Festival Shaun he's a totally different beast.
Yes,
Today we're a little bit more relaxed and not running around making sure everyone's having a good time. But we're having a good time and appreciate Simple Machine hosting us and doing the collaboration between all of us. We're excited to have the opportunity to learn more about the craft beer world. Marshall and Coly and Andrew, everyone here, so welcoming to share with us their experience. And of course, Marcus, taking the time. He's a home brewer and really takes the education of beer seriously, making sure that everyone understands how it goes. You and I are rookies, Eric, and we have, I'll be honest, little to no interest in like making a beer, but appreciate the craft that goes into it and appreciate the opportunity to see it and be a part of it. See everything from, we're going to brew it here and then we're going to drink it out at the festival in just a few short weeks. So that's the exciting part.
Isn't that crazy? It's just a few short weeks away.
It is.
It's like, November 12th that's months away.
No,
Not anymore.
It's like days away. It is the way that time moves. I mean, it feels like it is literally right around the corner now.
Yeah.
So, this beer will be ultra fresh, once it's packaged and put on for everyone at AZB3.
Yeah.
So.
Heck yeah, November 12th. This is your, now not including the COVID years.
Fourth annual.
Yep. Right?
Yep.
You started in what year?
2017.
Okay.
2018.
So 20 was the only year you didn't have it.
Correct.
Once you started it.
Yep. 2018 was the first year. So, and just since then, we've really honed in on the event itself. We've always been for the brewers, about the brewers, and making sure everyone is happy and keeping it small, keeping it intimate, and that's been a blueprint for success. In not to take any of the buzzwords, but artisanal or handcrafted, curated, all those things. Yeah. Well, that's what it is, and we appreciate the support that the brewing community has given us. We've lost we've seen the thank you. See my face better now.
There you go. I was like, man, his beautiful face is being blocked by the microphone. There we go.
We've seen some changes, obviously, in the beer community in terms of some didn't make it through COVID, but we've got more and more coming on. So we're excited to showcase some of the new craft alcohol vendors and brewers, distillers in the state. And so we've got 20 of them locked and loaded, ready to go. We're going to sell out again. So nice. November 12th, the perfect day to drink beer and enjoy Arizona's weather and Arizona's craft alcohol distilling. I don't know the right. It's not all breweries because we have
craft beverage.
Yeah, craft beverage.
Yeah.
Good job. That's why you get paid the big bucks to do the podcast.
That's
You got the words. You got the words. Yeah,
I'm a wordsmith.
Craft beverage event. So we're looking forward to it.
So all right, how do you decide on because last year was great, right? Every year that it's been a great experience. The people who have gone as guests of the event, as well as, like you said, like behind the scenes, the people who are working, for the breweries, or Marcus and Ryan doing the brew education side of us, or us doing the podcast. We have just as good of a time as the guests do, right? So if you're anything, or if whoever plans this is anything like me, I can't leave things be, no matter how great they work, right? I'm like, what can I do differently? So how do you guys decide, from 2021 to 22, what do we keep the same? What do we change up?
Yeah, it's a difficult challenge when we've done a very good job of making it excellent.
Yes.
Not to brag, but
no, you have absolutely, yeah.
So this year, we're gonna have some live music. We've got Chad Rubin and his band coming out. They're a local band, gonna play some covers and some originals, and they're a great party band. Saturday afternoon, day drinking vibe band. We've got a private VIP area that I think people are gonna look at and be like, I want to do that. So
they can't. If they're
they
just
can't.
looking at
Right.
that
So
day,
we're trying to build upon. We're already thinking about 2023 as we install 2022. We've got all the vendors locked and loaded this year. We're excited. We've got Nosh Board, AZ, who does the charcuterie boards and does some of that catering. They're going to come out and they're going to have a setup and be slinging some miniature personal charcuterie plates.
Nice.
So just adding those small touches that are going to separate us and continue to make us better and hopefully set the standard.
Yeah.
We want people to look at our event and be like, well, they do that. We need to incorporate that at our own festivals. And we've certainly borrowed ideas from other places and constantly looking to improve. And we just want it to be the best it can be.
Yeah. Well, is this the first time that you guys have done a beer for the event? This collaboration we're doing today at Simple Machine?
We've went and helped brew at Oso in the past. And we had our staff there, and that's how I got a taste for the hot scotchies. Okay. And so when I heard the word hot scotchy, I'm like, I'll be there. I'll drive wherever.
You're bringing burritos to ensure that there are hot scotchies.
Yeah, I'll have all the hot scotchies. I don't know why we don't, bottle and sell that stuff because it's delicious. But that's why
you would have a problem. That's why, Shaun.
Yeah. I'm not a quitter.
I don't even remember what I asked. The hot scotches got me thinking now too. So
the collaboration with Simple Machine and the beer community, as I've said in the past, is just they're all about helping each other and just learning together, educating, and the fact that we really started this event from scratch. 100%. We just sat down with a few of our the very few beer friends that we had and knew, and said, "How do you want to make this a festival?" And they told us, and we're welcoming, and people took a chance on me and our crew that we were going to do this right, and just been extremely pleased and blessed by, appreciative too of the support we've gotten, and it continues, like I said, with Simple Machine and all the other collaborators we've worked with in the past. Yourself, you jumped in on the early days. You were young in your podcast world, and
young buck over here.
Yeah,
right?
young. We were all younger and more handsomer. I think that's possible. Looking at Marcus,
I didn't have hair.
He's got the lettuce flowing out the back of the head.
I didn't have hair at the time.
You did not. Now it's coming back in full force, man.
Yeah.
But no, you're right, man. It's surrounding yourself with the right people. And I think that's a perfect segue into Marcus, right? Because to involve, to bring it, and nothing against homebrewing or anything like that, but for a festival to kind of think outside that box and say, hey, there's value in what the Arizona Homebrewers Association has, or what individual homebrewers have, seeing that, right? Like, it's not, these are future brewery owners of the, and it's kind of that bridge between the normal person like myself and a brewery, right? And so I think Marcus and Ryan have been a great piece to that. So I think that was great for you guys to bring them in. What did you think when that that invitation was extended?
Yeah. Initially we were stoked.
Yeah.
Like, we thought it was, really cool that Shaun reached out and said, hey, would you guys like to participate in the event? And we're like, yeah, of course. So
not even any questions. Like, what do you mean? Like, as what? You're like, yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and I'm always about trying to just promote home brewing in general. So that and the education side of things. So we try to make it more of an educational thing while actually doing some home brewing as well. So people come back there and they check out everything. They have an ability to just go and taste and touch. And we have hops there. We have different grains there.
Yeah. You have the smells.
Yes.
That's what gets everybody.
Yes, all the smells. Of course, everybody wants to know about our beer, right? Because they're tasting beer everywhere. But we give out samples of wort when we have it ready to go, and we do have samples and stuff like that. But now, hey, we're going to have our collaboration beer with Simple Machine out there.
Heck yes.
So that'll be, that's going to have the Brewery 602 stamp on it. So that'll be considered one of our beers. Hopefully. So that'll be fun.
We need hot scotchies.
And hot scotch.
And hot scotches, yeah. Well, see, so what? Santan Distillery or Grand Canyon Distilling will be there. So, I mean, you just go pull a little bit of some or any kind of whiskey from them and bring it over, and we could pour you some wort. And
that's a pro tip right there.
And there you go. Now you have your hot scotchy.
Yeah, you've seen like the festivals where the guys like go to the grounds early and like dig up a hole and put their bottles of booze in there and like cover back up. That's the pro tip right there. If you're listening right now, the pro tip is the whiskey and wort from Brewery 602.
Yeah, there
Dude,
you go.
I just thought of a great shirt for you. Just have a shirt that says "Ask me about my hot scotchy." And they can ask you, and you can say, "Hey, go get something from Grand Canyon and then Brewery 602."
I like it.
Yeah.
The innuendo, the double entendre.
Yeah.
You are a wordsmith.
Man, I tell you what, man. I've got there are a lot of things I'm not good at.
You got a beer in you, a hot scotch. You're just firing it at 9 a.m.
He's
call my wife.
Yeah, you're the beer label name master.
Man, they
Come
just
up.
flow.
They do.
They flow. I'll have a conversation. I'm like, beer name. That's a beer name.
Beer name. Yeah.
Marshall approached me, I don't know, a couple months ago. He's like, "Hey, man, we got this hazy IPA. You got any ideas?" I'm like, "All right, hazy IPAs. There we go. I got to categorize. That's where Hazy Crockett came from." But seventh inning quench. I had nothing to do with any of that. I was not able to make the meeting that day, and I said, "Roll with it," as if you guys were going to hold up for me, anyways. But when you guys planned this beer, that we have this idea to collaborate, make this beer for the event. How did that meeting go? Right now that I wasn't there.
It was real smooth.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was real smooth. I mean, we figured hazy IPA because that's that's kind of like the hot thing, easy drinking. Anyone can really drink one, not bitter, nice and fruity. So it was really just sit down, come up with an ABV, and start shooting around names. And we're thinking, 7% would be a good one. And then Marshall's all about numbers and how to use numbers and stuff like that. So he's like, okay, we got to come up with a name. Okay, if we do 7, and if it's 7 IBU and 7 this and 7, and then who was it that was it?
I think it's Brandon.
Brandon,
sales guy?
Yeah, Brandon, who does sales at Simple Machine, came up with Seventh Inning Quench.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're throwing around different names and stuff, and we're like, you know what? Beer name.
Yeah,
that was it. So
that's it.
yeah,
I like it. I had a lot of fun making that label too.
That label is insane. That's awesome.
Did you see all the versions of? Did I show you the label?
I haven't seen it yet.
Son of a bitch, I'll have to show it to you. It's. I mean, we could be getting a cease and desist from Major League Baseball.
No way. No, it won't happen.
No. It's a parody of the Major League Baseball logo, and instead of the guy batting, it's just a mug,
yeah.
beer mug. I had a few different iterations. My favorite iteration was Sasquatch walking. It was like the silhouette of him walking, and that was what broke up the blue and the red of the. I'm like, that looks awesome, and I'm like, but it makes no sense. Like, I'll try, and I sent it to Marshall. I'm like, what do you think about these three? He's like, dude, I love the Bigfoot one, but it makes no sense. I'm like, all right.
Darn it.
Yeah. But no, so how do you do? So when I was putting the label together, I was talking to Coly about like the stats of the beer and stuff, and it was 7 IBUs, and me and Marshall were both like, IPA with 7 IBUs. It doesn't make any sense. Are you sure it's not 77? But how do you do an IPA with 7 IBUs?
So theoretically, it's
aiming
it's
for 7.
Well, so usually you're pulling IBU from hot side addition. So anytime anything with alpha acids hits wort over 175, 180 degrees, those alpha acids get converted, and then that's kind of where you pull your IBUs from.
Gotcha.
So we're not doing any hot side. So basically all of our hops are going to be going in after the boil.
Okay.
So once we call it flame out, once we flame out, turn off the fire, it stops boiling. We're going to add an addition there, and we'll pull a little bit of bitterness, very, 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 very small amount of bitterness from that.
Okay.
But that'll be our bittering addition.
Yeah.
And then we're going to drop that temperature to 170, and we're going to do what's called a whirlpool. We're going to add a ton of hops in there, let them whirlpool around, and what we do is we're pulling all the different flavor and aromas and stuff like that. They're essential oils essentially from the hops.
Yeah.
So we're just going to pull the oils. We're not converting alpha acids into that bitterness. And then we're going to do 2 dry hops, and dry hops really don't add, really any bitterness. I mean, people will argue that yes, it's going to add some bitterness.
Sure.
So I mean, 7 IBUs is it possible? Yeah, I mean, we're probably playing with a weird fine line there, but the fact that we're not actually adding any hot side additions, then
the goal is 7 IBUs. That's what we're aiming for.
7 IBUs, 7% ABV.
Yeah.
So and then it's going to be a ultra hazy. We're using an experimental malt that Marshall picked up. It's called Bodybuilder. So it'll be a little bit darker than your typical hazy, but I think it's going to be awesome.
Sounds like a lot of really cool stuff.
And it's
I'm in.
We're
Can I
definitely
just drink it now.
sorry. Yeah, I could get all nerded out and start talking.
No, that was great.
And I'm in the brewery, so it's like
well, the way you explain it though. So I don't know if it's the same for you, Shaun, but I'm thinking like that's never been done before. Like this is a brand new. It's I'm not aware of it. So to me, that's like groundbreaking. Is that a kind of a common kind of approach to making a hazy?
It's a real common approach to hazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times you won't even get any flame out even or hop stand, what they'll call it. You'll just get whirlpool and then like triple dry hopped, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a real common way of doing it. Again, just because you don't want to pull a bunch of bitterness out of that. We're not doing a West Coast or traditional IPA, so
he just makes it sound a lot cooler than it.
It's a common way, but I mean, it's science.
Yes. Once again, there's Shaun's face against science.
It is. It's science.
No, guys, I'm excited for this. I think we're about time to do something at least for
we're right now we're in the middle of we're gonna transfer wort into the boil kettle, and then we're gonna let you guys mash out, grain out. I'm sorry, and so you guys are gonna grain out. So you're gonna have to work, and then we're gonna have to mash in to do our second batch.
So we're going to transfer some cloudy water into another tank, and then we're going to scoop out some old grain.
You're going to scoop out the old grains.
That's what, like, layman's terms, but you fancied up.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to grain out, and then
Vorloff.
Yeah, we were doing a Vorloff, and I was getting all sorts of weird looks from Shaun. What the hell are you talking about?
He came out because I'm like, hey, man, tell me something. He's like, hey, man, some Vorloff thing's going on. I'm like, that's my favorite loff of all. Yeah. No, man, we appreciate what you do, and hopefully we add some value to this as well, maybe even a little bit with hosting the actual entire event here. But
yeah, there's that.
There's that.
All right, November 12th, Salt River Fields. People can get VIP tickets. They can get general admission. Where do they go to find all this info?
Go to azbottlesandbrews.com or saltriverfields.com. Pick up your tickets. It will sell out, so make sure you get them today. Don't be emailing me the night before. I want to come. Sorry, out of tickets.
Bro. Day of, when you're looking in that VIP area and you're like, man, I want to go in there. Like, cool, you can.
Next year. Bring your checkbook.
Next year. Checkbooks. Dude, you're going to get a lot of people with checkbooks this year.
Can't wait.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
Oh, hey, real quick. Beers that we're trying. We got to give a shout out to Simple Machine and Southwest Sampler. Influencer. She's a badass. They created this beer together, the Pumpkin Mole. This thing is fantastic, man. Usually not a fan of stouts and, is it a porter?
It looks like a porter or a brown ale. Yeah, I'm not too sure of the style.
It's a brown ale.
Is it brown ale? Yeah. Okay.
It's pumpkin spice season, so
yep,
that means
absolutely.
beer.
And you have pumpkin spice.
I have pumpkin spice, and man, I again nerded out. Right, I love me some pumpkin beer, and that's right on point. It's a pretty low ABV and easy drinking, so I wouldn't mind having 5 or 6 of these while I'm here. So
well, it's 10 till 9, so we got time.
It's not even 9 yet. That's great. I have plenty of time till we open at 3:00.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.
Now I'm going to hit you with a hard question. She's nervous, and I told her not to be. I said I'm a professional. Follow my lead.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops.
I forgot everything.
You forgot everything?
Yeah.
What, all the advice I gave you about being on the microphones and on the camera?
Yeah.
So far, so good. Doing great, Coly. Well, guys, thanks for joining. Marshall, are you in frame? Marshall, you are. Look at that. This is our spot where we interview musicians.
This is it.
And brewers.
This is like a Coly session.
The Coly session. Coly, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Coly likes to you zone in. You do a very good job of zoning in, and I kind of come and go as I please here sometimes,
All the time.
And, sometimes Coly just gets surprised by me just coming around the corner. So
Getting
I
used to
figured,
it.
why not put her in front of a camera? No, this is, guys, cheers. Are you having anything right? Coly, you're working, huh?
Yeah.
Secret about Coly, she doesn't really like craft beer that much.
What? I knew that.
do.
Guy.
I
You
just
do.
don't drink that much.
She's not a big drinker.
That's
no.
not a bad thing at all, Coly. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing.
How is your palate? Like, do you take, like, I feel like if you have a good palate, the less you drink, the better you are at tasting?
I think it's pretty good. I just,
I think
early
she-
on in
I
the
think she-
day.
I think she's got a pretty good palate.
Yeah?
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
We'll do some sensory stuff, like trying to break down batches or do comparing
Yeah.
previous batch and current batch, and she picks up on a lot of things.
Yes.
She's also really good at, we do forced diacetyl testing, so she's real good at smelling diacetyl on samples, which is pretty cool.
That is, because I'm only just, I give a thumbs up based on suggestion. They're like, do you smell? I'm like, sure do.
You're like,
That's exactly what I smell in my house.
Yeah, smell this. Does it smell like campfire? Yes, it does.
Yes. It
does.
That's just regular water.
Yeah. So that's good to have somebody on your team like that. And, Coly, you're always a joy to be around as well. So you're always smiling, nervously
try.
laughing sometimes.
Nervous laughter.
So, Coly, you got to be kind of the lead on this beer, the 7th Inning Quench.
yeah,
How was that?
it was fun.
Trying to corral all these ideas and
Yeah, lots. 3-4 people
Yeah.
putting ideas in.
yeah, you're lucky I wasn't here. That would have been
That
like
would've
2
been
other
worse.
people.
Yeah. Dude, what does Bigfoot have to do with this?
Oh man,
I
I'm
don't know,
telling
but
you,
it's fun.
that Bigfoot label one day is going to come.
It's
in.
going to come out somehow, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that could be like the Imperial version, right? Like
Yeah.
the Yeti version or something. Yeah. So you guys landed on a hazy IPA pretty quickly. Did that kind of go back and forth a lot, or was everybody?
I think
pretty
it was
much?
kind of pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, hazies are big.
Yeah.
Everyone loves them. To do a little something different too. Well, it's not different, but
Yeah. Yeah. A little 7 IBUs, which was me and Marcus talked about that. That is impressive and interesting to have in an IPA. How do you get 7 IBUs out of a? I'm going to see if your answer matches Marcus's, Marshall.
How do you only get 7?
Yeah.
Well,
on an IPA, right? Because
some-
that kind of baffled
I've
me.
heard a lot of people argue IBUs in their utility in the industry.
Okay.
Because you've got IBU, which is like a calculated measure of isomerization,
Okay.
and then you've got perceived bitterness, which is like whatever the hell you want it to be.
That's
you know?
like mystical. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So to get 7 IBU calculated, it's all late addition.
Okay.
So your bittering essential oils don't isomerize in the mixture, and they don't leave a bitter after flavor.
Okay.
So we're using a lot of hops.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of hop flavor
Yeah.
and aroma, but it's not going to have a bitter finish because they're not boiled. They're not going to have time to isomerize.
Okay.
Isomerize.
That's a good
say
one.
that 7 times fast.
Make it a hazy saison, right?
Yeah.
Which is a style that you should
So-
make, right?
Oh, it's just all late addition, and
Okay, yeah, and that matches Marcus's answer. All right, you guys know what you're talking about. You ain't even paying attention over there.
he's giving me stink eye now.
So, Coly, all right, over the last, so when did you kind of really start getting into brewing here at Simple Machine?
COVID, I guess.
Okay, so about 2 years
Everything
now?
shut down, and
Yeah.
I had asked Marshall questions when we worked at the time it was Phoenix Beer. Well, Phoenix Ale going into Phoenix Beer.
Yeah,
Just never had the time to hang out and see. COVID hit, had time.
yeah.
Come in, hung out when I could to see how beer was made and help with the process and
Yeah,
ask
eventually,
questions about the Cicerone and
Yeah.
eventually she'd be in here with her. She was really studying it pretty well, asking me questions, and she was staying around so long. I started putting her to work, and then we put her to work so much we decided we should pay her.
Yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
yeah, we should maybe throw her some dollars for her efforts.
You know what?
And now
You've earned
she's
this dollar.
our longest standing employee. I guess Jim technically is, but
yeah.
you work a lot more hours than he does.
Yeah, we know.
I want
we know
him to
Coly.
come hang out for a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In the seat, not like when
Yeah.
he did the
Yeah.
couple
No.
Bitter Bandits.
it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Watching Coly grow, because when she came in, she had worked in breweries, but on the service side,
Sure.
like bartending and
Yeah.
restaurant side. But I always say it, if you have somebody who has the passion for it and isn't afraid of the work,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of fucking work.
A
Yeah,
lot.
it is.
A
lot.
Yeah.
And it's hot back there a lot of
Yep.
the year. And you have to wear heavy boots and long pants and safeties, and
Yeah.
you find someone who has the passion and who isn't afraid of cleaning 90% of your job, then they can learn. And she's good proof of that, because she came in with no knowledge at all, and now she brews more than half our beer,
Hell yeah, Coly.
probably like 75% of it.
Yeah.
So
I
to
was
the point
wondering
where
why I was getting better. Like,
to the point where I am not even considering myself the head brewer anymore. I'm passing that torch on to her. So this project was one of those where, the next step in her her growth is working with groups to design a beer, make the recipe, and then execute it.
Sure.
And that's what we're working on now. And she's come a long way. I'm very, very fortunate to have her.
How do you like that part of it, right? Because there's a joy of being kind of back there and like, I don't have to deal with anybody, right? Now it's like, hey, how about you deal with 4 people with 5 different, 500 ideas? How was that? Did you enjoy that collaboration so far?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Recipe writing is definitely my next growth, or some of my next growth.
Okay.
Just the numbers and all that, figuring out like the IBUs and all that. But
yeah. But corralling people, how was it corralling? You just gave up on me. Like, we're not even going to Eric. Cause
yeah, I'm like, Eric can't be there today. We're doing it that day.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll have off-the-wall ideas.
Eric, what's your availability? Yeah. Just so we can check with everyone else. Wink,
2
wink.
Bigfoot ideas. Yeah.
Next beer.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the button, the toughest button to button as well. Coly, you took the lead on Brew Day. You were kind of
The Brew
directing
Day,
people and calling people, come on, let's go. So great job on that. Absolutely.
No.
So what's next? Let me ask you this. So you've been doing this for a couple years now. You seem to really enjoy it. Aside from a few conversations we have, like in the hot times, I think last week I was here, you're like, what the
And
fuck am I
August
doing?
definitely questioned the heat.
We all do. It starts off as a joke in July, a little more serious in August. It's like September, October. You're like, no, fuck this.
Well, and
like
this year,
Arizona, all of it.
Yeah. And this year, the humidity back there, like there were
Yeah.
days it was cooler, but it was still hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is nicer, but no.
Yeah. Yeah, but you still stuck to it. So
I did.
what is there about this that you're really, really enjoying, especially for somebody who doesn't really drink, right? I mean, not that you have
drink.
to.
I just watch when I do.
You're responsible. I have no idea what
Some
that
days.
feels like. Yeah. So what's got you so into this?
I think just the people. I've been, like Marshall said, on the other side of it. So just knowing that you're making something that people enjoy and brings people together.
Yeah.
And then coming out and talking to people. We have some great regulars that come in, and even some of the new people coming in. It's just fun to talk to people and see what they like, and
Yeah. Is there a little
being
bit of
on
pride
all side of it.
knowing when you see somebody smile, you're like, I fucking
did
made
that.
that.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
with
awesome.
help.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You can't do it alone.
No,
Can't do
takes a
anything
team
alone.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I have Marshall to teach me.
Yeah.
He's very understanding and like just a great teacher.
Very chill guy.
Yeah.
Is he as patient as he seems?
I think so.
I think so.
I need that patience to rub off onto me sometimes.
Yeah, we all do, for sure. Well, speaking of patience, you've been very patient on your expansion of your brewing capacity. Can we talk about what we can almost see in the background?
Yeah,
we
we can
can't
talk
see
about
it.
that.
We can't see it in the camera,
It's
but right around that corner is what?
We got a new brew house.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, does he even know what I'm talking about? He's like, where are we going with this?
100% do.
Littering and
So new brew house. So
so we got a new Mesh 10 kettle.
Yeah.
10 barrel, which is great. We're calling it an early birthday present for Coly.
When's your birthday?
Wednesday.
This
a week
Wednesday?
from today.
A week from today.
A week from today? No shit. My daughter's is tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because we were going to be installing it like over her birthday,
Okay.
but we're waiting on a new part to come in for it. So
Gotcha.
it's probably 4 to 6 weeks before it'll be operational.
Yeah.
But it's going to make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right now we're turning, we turned 3 3-barrel batches to put 9 barrels into a 10-barrel tank. And it takes us like 9 or 10 hours. It's a lot of manual labor.
Yeah.
It gets hot as hell because our kettles right now are just open evap, so it just goes into the space. The burners on the bottom, they're jacketed but not insulated, so they radiate heat like crazy. And we've got them on for like 9 hours a day.
Yeah. Dang. I didn't even think about that. I just thought about capacity.
Yeah,
Right?
well.
So it's going to be
You've seen me when I've
And
come from the back looking miserable.
So
I'm like, I'm dying.
seeing Coly suffer this summer was like the main pushing force, like because we were all suffering, but just watching it drain my team and feeling the drain myself was the main motivator that like Frank and I were just like, we've got to fucking get a new brew house.
Yeah.
Like we can't keep going like this,
Yeah.
We opened with the 3-barrel thinking we'd do it for maybe a year, and
Yeah.
we're almost 3 years in.
and being named like best newish brewery, like
Right.
So not just like getting
and
by
producing like 30% more each
Yeah.
year, year over
Yeah.
year. And it's just got to be too much.
Yeah.
So we made it a really big point. And then on top of that, our 3-barrel, it's gotten us where we are, but the new system's going to be so much more efficient. So we're going to do a single turn. It'll take us 6 hours, start to finish, including cleanup. We're going to produce 10 barrels instead of 9 barrels, and we're probably going to use like 20% less raw ingredients.
Dang.
So our raw materials is going to decrease, and our labor is going to decrease, and our morale is going to skyrocket.
Dang.
So
That's a win all around.
yeah,
for
we
you
really
guys.
need it, especially in a time when everything from raw materials to shipping to gas, our CO2 and oxygen that we use, prices are going up across the board.
Yeah.
And this will help us curb some of that increase.
That's good.
Not forever.
Yeah.
It's only going to get more expensive, but it's going to help us in a big way.
It's a beautiful system too.
Yeah.
Like it's got
So-
like some copper strips around it and stuff.
Well, it's definitely what I'd consider like a legacy system. It was first commissioned in '96 in a Long Beach rock bottom. So it's all American made, JV Northwest, no bells or whistles on it, but
yeah.
like it's tried and true. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good equipment.
That's.
And,
I think it just looks beautiful. Like
it's
I don't
cool.
know.
Yeah.
It'll look nice in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Get Frank over there with a buffer, buffing that copper up. But no, as always, congratulations to you guys continuing to grow. New brew system. So if you're out there and you have a really nice restaurant with one hazy beer on tap that easy hazy, right? Also, a bunch of other great beers that Marshall has year round, including
We have
Day Crusher?
8 flagships now.
8 flagships. Holy
So
shit!
we're doing Blueprint Light Lager, the American Light Lager.
I like that one. I love that one. That's probably my favorite.
Day Crusher, which was like our original light blonde,
Yep.
American blonde ale. Loteria, which is in a Mexican-style amber lager, which I consume quite a bit. Dark Side of the Mash, our black IPA. Helical Haze, which is like our house hazy. Cascade and Cashmere, sounds nice and smooth. Optimus Lime, we just recently added as a year-round.
Nice.
So we have a year-round sour now. And that's the one we landed on. Of all the ones we've done, that one gets the most positive feedback.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially we have bars that are adding lime juice to it, like a squeeze of lime or a wedge of lime.
Really?
Or rimming the glass with salt
Yeah.
or putting it over ice. We do that sometimes.
That's a great idea.
Lay's, we just added that a few months ago as a year-round West Coast at 6.4%. What am I missing?
Camper Red.
Oh,
The
Camper
red
Red. Yeah, our
Yeah.
American Red Ale.
Dang. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Very proud of you. Proud to be
Thanks.
a neighbor of you guys.
Yeah. And then we do Tap That Easy Hazy, like
And tap that
Yeah.
easy.
kind of
hazy.
quarterly or every
Yeah, yeah.
2 months or so.
Yeah.
We'll put out a batch.
And that's it. I think there was anything else. I think there was something else about. Oh, well, so the festival. I think we already talked about with those guys.
Yep, we're excited about it.
November
Yeah.
12th, right?
Gonna be a cool beer to have
Yes.
for it.
Yeah. And that's it. I think I need more beer.
That's all Eric wrote.
All right, guys. Thanks again, and keep doing awesome stuff.
You too.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Cheers.
The story's running out.